What are the Eagles going to do with their third wide receiver? Are they going to go out in free agency and get somebody, or will they address it in the draft? We know that they're going to do something. It's just a matter of what and when. Dallas still stinks. Yo, my dude, King Dingbat here, and hope everyone's having a great day. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're hanging in there. So the question I have is this. What are the Eagles going to do at the number 3 wide receiver position? What are they going to do in the slot? Are they going to keep Quez Watkins? Are they going to trade Quez Watkins? Are they going to draft the wide receiver? Or maybe, just maybe, they're going to go out and sign a free agent wide receiver. And there's one guy that I'm thinking of could possibly come in and help the Eagles a lot if the money is right. Now, before we get into it, if you're new to the channel and you like the content, make sure you hit that like button. More importantly, make sure you subscribe to the most censored, the most throttled, especially lately, really throttled Eagles content creator in all of the internet. And if you've been subscribed for a while, I just want to thank you for all the support you guys give to me. It truly means a lot. Now, before I came on to do this video and I was driving home from doing this video, I took a swing by my P.O. box. And in my P.O. box, I got delivered a package. Pause. Okay, in this package, it wasn't the biggest package in the world, but it was a good-sized package. And this package I've got here, and we're going to open it up, and we're going to take a look at it. It is from an old subscriber on this channel, one of the guys that has been with me as long as I can remember. Bonzology. Shout out to Bonzology. I want to thank him for sending me this. Now, from a couple of the comments he made, I may have to take a look at this thing first to even see if it's allowed to be shown on here without getting in any trouble. So we are going to open up this package right now. We're going to open up Bonzology's package. Pause. All right, let's see what this thing is like. Okay. We got a green shirt. Let me see. I got to make sure this thing's okay. Oh my gosh. What? Look at this. Philly 500 for Bajan. There you go. My love for Bajan. I'm going to have to wear this. I'm definitely... This is good. Bonzology, you got me on this one. This is good. So, yes, I will definitely have to put this on. Should fit. Hopefully, maybe a little tight, but that's okay. We beautiful. But Philly 500 for Bill. This was just sent to me by Bonzology. Thank you so much. I love it. Thank you so much. Wow. That's a good one. That's a good one. I like it, and I will definitely have to be wearing that thing. No question about it. That is good. Thank you so much, Bonzology, man. I appreciate it. I really do. Thank you for sending that to me. Now, this isn't really a Draft 5 video, although we'll talk about that maybe at the end of the video. This video is actually about the wide receiver position because I really want to know what the Eagles are going to do at the wide receiver position because it's something that I think we all look at. When you look at the offense, right, to me, I look at 3 positions on offense. I say they can upgrade, okay, and it would help them immediately. I think they need to still upgrade the running back position. I know a lot of you guys are sold on Penny, but to me, with his injury history, I can't just count on him. I think the right guard spot, we assume Cam Jurgens is going to be put in there, but we've got to see how that plays out. Is he going to be able to make the transition? I think he will. I don't think it'll be a problem. And then the slot wide receiver, what's going to happen? Quez kind of had a down year. A lot of people are down on him. A lot of people want to just move on from him. Me, personally, I do not want to trade Quez Watkins. I want to keep Quez Watkins. I'm somebody called me one of the last believers in Quez Watkins. I do. I still think Quez Watkins can play. And I think he's going to have a rebound year. I do believe that the Eagles should bring in competition for Quez Watkins. I think that bringing in competition for that position may be a good thing. Now, the question is where are the Eagles, when are they going to do it? In the draft or in free agency? My guess is this, and I'm just guessing, unless they go like first or second round wide receiver, I think they're going to look to upgrade this in free agency. I'm thinking maybe over the summer, they're going to look for somebody who's still out there who may come with a good price that they could fit in that slot wide receiver position and basically compete with Quez Watkins, you know. If the Eagles were, let's say, in the first round to take Jackson Smith, Enigma, if they took him, that would be unbelievable because he would be an instant upgrade. He's going to be a stud in this league, okay? He just is. He is going to be a good wide receiver. But I don't know that the Eagles would sit there and take a wide receiver in the first round yet again. You got to remember, they had Jalen Reagor first round. Then they Devontae Smith first round. Then you trade a first round pick for A.J. Brown. That would mean 4 years in a row you're using a first round pick on a wide receiver. It's very hard for me to believe. What I do think is more likely is either they take, you know, I'm sure they'll take somebody in mid-rounds. I could totally see that. But I also could totally see the Eagles going ahead and maybe trying to sign a free agent. You know, I think that may be the way to do it. And there was an interesting article, and they brought up an interesting name, a guy I hadn't thought about. And I think this guy would actually be a perfect fit for the Philadelphia Eagles. And that is Jarvis Landry. It was in NewJersey.com, and the name of the article is called, Should the Eagles Have Interest in Signing Wide Receiver Jarvis Landry? And they go on to talk about Jarvis Landry and how Landry, you know, is going into his 10 seasons, all this kind of stuff, had a bit of an off year, but he is looking for a new home, and he is a slot wide receiver. He would be perfect for the Eagles at the slot wide receiver position. And when you look at Landry, who was with the Saints last year, he's 5'11", 202 pounds. He's 30 years old. He'll be 31 November. He had 25 receptions last year, 272 yards and a touchdown, averaged 10.9 yards a carry. He was banged up last year. I'm trying to remember what it was. I read it earlier, but he was banged up last year. I want to say it was with an ankle injury. Let me see if I can remember, if I can find what they said. But anyways, I don't know where it is here. But basically, he was banged up last year, had to cut his season short. He should be healthy and ready to go. He would be, I think, a great fit to come in and play in the slot. He would feast. He would have a resurgence of his career if he came in in the slot and played. He could compete with Quez Watkins, and you can interchange them kind of like they did with Pascal last year. I think Jarvis Landry would be the perfect fit at the slot wide receiver position for the Eagles. This was a very interesting article. I will put the link in the description. This was done by Chris Franklin. And Landry's still waiting to sign with a team. I think he'll be a lot cheaper than other options like Odell Beckham Jr. or somebody like that. You may get him at a decent price. You got about $20 million in cap space to play with right now. So the Eagles have some money. I say sign him to a one-year deal. Let him come in. Let him compete with Quez Watkins. And let's see how it goes. But I think Jarvis Landry, perfect wide receiver to put in the slot, you know. Let's see. They said, here's what the article said about Landry, right? I'll read a little bit of it. It says, Landry, who has been named to the Pro Bowl 5 times in his career, signed a one-year deal with the Saints last season, but finished with only 25 catches for 272 yards and a touchdown in 9 games. With ankle issues eventually forcing him to end his season on injury reserve, still a good route runner, Landry has showed he could make timely plays over his 9 seasons in the league, with a 57.7% of his career catches, 412 first downs on 713 catches. So 412 catches, for 412 first downs on 713 of his catches. That's really, really good. Okay, Landry may be the perfect guy for the Eagles. It's just going to be a price with him. Is he think he's worth 10, 12 million, something like that? And would the Eagles pay that? Maybe they would. Maybe that's a bargain nowadays. But I think if the Eagles could get him for like 1 year, I think, and if I'm Jarvis Landry and you said, hey, we're gonna bring you in, you're gonna compete with Quez Watkins, you're gonna be playing with A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. I mean, you gotta want to jump on that, right? I mean, he could have a resurgence in his career. He comes in, has a great year, and then he can go off to another team and get, get a better payday, a bigger payday, because he's going to pad his stats with the Philadelphia Eagles playing in the slot. I think this would be a very, very good move for the Eagles, and they should definitely look into it. There's been also rumors that DeAndre Hopkins in Arizona may just flat out be cut because his salary is so ridiculous, nobody wants to take it on. I highly doubt a guy like DeAndre Hopkins would be a guy that gets cut and says, hey, I want to come to Philly and play in the slot as the third wide receiver. I wouldn't expect that. I wouldn't expect that at all. I don't think he would do that. Also, Odell Beckham Jr., those guys to me are not really realistic. So the way I see it, you have really 2 options. You have to get a wide receiver in free agency, somebody like a Jarvis Landry, and I think Jarvis Landry is really the perfect guy. Or you're going to have to draft somebody, and I think if you're going to draft somebody that you really want them to legitimately compete with Quez Watkins, I think you got to do it fairly early. So it's going to be interesting what the Eagles do, but I expect the Eagles still to upgrade this position at some point. And I think the longer Jarvis Landry does not have a team, the better off the Eagles, or the better chances the Eagles have to land a guy like that. It's really going to come down to money, I would assume. But he would be the perfect guy in the slot for the Philadelphia Eagles. No doubt about it. Now, in closing, the last thing I got to say, obviously, you saw this. You saw this beautiful shirt. But there's some truth to that, right? Because I believe that the Eagles shouldn't waste anybody's time, shouldn't waste their time, and they should draft Bijan Robinson. They need to draft 5. And if you agree with me and you don't believe in the narrative of going out and just, never taking a running back only because he's a running back, you don't buy that, and you want Bijan Robinson, then click the link in the description and go pre-order your Draft 5 hats. Go get them. We got Draft 5 hats and trucker hats. We got regular embroidered snapback hats. And then we got some t-shirts as well. Get your Draft 5 hats. Wear them. Draft night. I will be streaming live. The Philly Shakedown podcast will be streaming live. And guess what? We are going to be rooting and hoping and praying that Bijan Robinson somehow will land in Philly. And if he doesn't, then I guess we'll turn our hats backwards. I don't know. But it is what it is. And if you want to come in on this movement, if you want to not just will Bijan Robinson to Philly, but wear him to Philly, then get your Draft 5 hats. Link is in the description. And let's go and do this. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Of course, don't be a dingbat. Remember, it's how we vision. We're all just living in it. Man, I don't know if you guys got to see Marcus Mariota's press conference with the Eagles today, but Man, I love that kid. I really do. I really wanted the Eagles to draft Marcus Mariota and trade up for him when Chip Dip Kelly was here. I did. I thought that if he was drafted, I really believe if Mariota was drafted with the right coaches that could really teach him the NFL, I think he would have developed into a great, great quarterback. I just think he went to the wrong place where they didn't do it. He always had defensive-minded coaches, and I think it really hurt him. I do, and his injuries. But I really like Marcus Mariota. He's a class act, and I think the Eagles really, really, really hit it big by getting Marcus Mariota as a backup quarterback. Just my thoughts. Denzel Washington out.